you come back. That's how you shut down the negativity surrounding my football club. Jose Mourinho, stand up. The positive substitution of Jesse Lingard. Getting booed because he took off Martial. The man steps up from a wonderful cross from Lukaku. We are going to review this on a very unbiased basis in a minute, but I am just absolutely buzzing. Absolutely. For my video then, sorry, Jesse Lingard does it. That is how you turn around the negativity at Manchester United. Jose Mourinho with a positive substitution. He brings on Lingardinho, makes the positivity. Conte on the other hand, taking off your best player Eden Hazard for Pedro. Absolutely smashes it, comes back from a goal down. Lukaku on fire. Pogba stepped up and he was counted. We are going to review the game. Before we do that, make sure you download the OneFootball app. All the information is in the description below. I'm obviously joined by Nini from Blue Lions TV here. Chelsea fan, if you don't know, tuning in. Phone calls as well we want. I'm losing my mind. I'm so buzzing after that victory. 0203 606 0315. Nini though, how are you feeling as a Chelsea fan right now?
Honestly, you guys, I'm going to blame this defeat Antonio Conte. Now, we were talking during half-time, and just to give you guys some context, one major criticism I have about Conte is he has no game management. He doesn't make any effective substitutions. He doesn't know how to change the course of a game. He doesn't know how to make those tactical tweaks. Literally, Conte sets his team up from the start. Whatever happens in that 90 minutes, even if the team's countering that, he just doesn't know what to do. And we paid the price today. United did one simple thing. And just to give you guys some context again, Juventus in the final, it's a similar type of game really. First half, all over Real Madrid. Real Madrid pushed Benzema and Ronaldo together to make two up front. That's it. The wing backs can't get forward no more. And then everyone's sitting deeper. United did the same thing. Lukaku, Sanchez together, Lingard in the middle. And then, too much respect to United, forced them back. A stupid substitution taken off Eden Hazard. If you're United, you're going to have even more confidence now defending on the counter-attack because you know the main man isn't there. The guy that commands 3 players on him at all times. The guy that United were making sure that they had to make sure he didn't do anything in this game.
On Eden Hazard today, I know we saw this. You saw it from a lot of Man United fans. Scott McTominay up against him today. Phenomenal job, really, for such a young man to keep one of the best players in the Premier League quiet. Would you think that maybe the manager's thinking was, right, if we take off Eden Hazard and we put somebody else onto the pitch, maybe it will throw McTominay off his game? I mean, it didn't work because Chelsea created nothing, really, after that point. What changed? I mean, the thing is, obviously, I'm buzzing. I'm a Man United fan. We came back into that game. We were strong. But what surprised me was the fact that Chelsea tried to play some type of counter-attack football in the second half. Pogba then took over running things in midfield.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we made the change. We took Martial off. We stuck a number 10 on the pitch. And Chelsea they were suddenly out of the game.
This is what I'm saying. Obviously, Lingard coming on is more of a number 10. Sanchez and Lukaku were playing close together. That's why he took off Martial. You didn't care about the width because everyone was isolated. That's why United's counter-attacks weren't doing as well because you got Lukaku in the middle, Sanchez far out wide on the right, and then, obviously Martial on the left. By moving to obviously having a 2 up front with 1 in behind, they could play closer together, meaning that even though they weren't necessarily creating as much, United were able to get into the midfield much more. And then, of course, because Conte is one of these typical Italian pragmatic managers, he saw 2 up front, he got scared. And then, obviously gave the advantage to United. All he had to do was, before even the Lingard sub was made, was bring on Cesc. Because we seem to be a bit more clinical in the final thirds.
Absolutely. Obviously, what we want from you all out there is your viewpoint. You can give us a call. The lines are now open. 0203 606 0315. We're obviously going to go through YouTube comments as well. But we want to know how impressed you were today with Lukaku. My man of the match today stood up and he was counted. We want to talk about Chelsea. What happened to Eden Hazard today? Why was he pulled off the football pitch? And of course, these managers have been battling over recent months. War of words here and there. As Jose Mourinho potentially hammered the final nail in the coffin of Conte, Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Tamim, and I'm a Chelsea fan.
Hello, mate. What do you want to say?
It was, I'm heartbroken, really. Like, we're winning 1-0, kind of controlling the game, and then we can see the stupid goal to Lukaku, and then the second goal. Horrible defending. Stupid. Like, it's so stupid how it takes three players can't even control Lukaku when he's crossing the ball, and then terrible defending, like, when we're in the box, like, how like, Christensen and everyone else just can't even, like, defend Lingard from headering the ball into the goal.
Buddy, I'm going to read this out to you. This is a comment from one of our YouTube watchers who says, Man United played like trash compared to Chelsea. Chelsea had clear-cut chances. All the calls and bounces went United's way, which helped Jose Mourinho. Would you agree? Do you think Chelsea were that much better than United today? Do you think this is a lucky victory?
No. It's just like, you can't just blame, you can't just keep, it's a delusional comment, because like, this happens all the time, where like, it happened with Arsenal, where like, when we were 2-1 up, we sat back and invited the pressure on, and this whole game we tried to play on the counter-attack for the whole time, and it didn't work. And also, like, what Nini said, like, Conte tried to change it, like, he took off, who did he take off? I forgot who he took off for Giroud. Like, he brought on Giroud and he made it into a 4-4-2. Oh,
he took off Moses. He took off Moses.
Yeah. It was a 4-4-2, and he tried to attack. He tried to go for it. And I know he's done it in the past where he's just, like, not really changed the game and just let it happen. But I kind of felt like he tried to do something in this game and tried to change it up.
But let me ask you this. Obviously, would you say that maybe he changed things too late? Because by the time he's making these subs, it's after we're 2-1 down.
Yeah, like, I feel like he needs to be quicker when he is doing it. Like he's trying, like, to change it up, but he needs to be more quicker. And he's kind of indecisive on his decisions.
Absolutely, mate. Really do appreciate your call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I think you've touched on a point there with that caller. Jose made that move first. That Lingard move was the pivotal turning moment. And I know there's a lot of Man United, and I ain't talking to Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans seem more respectful of what Jose is doing here at United. There are so many sore Manchester United fans out there that I'm staggered at. They actually seem annoyed that Jose's gone and won a game. They seem annoyed that McTominay's played well. They seem annoyed that Lukaku's done well. I'm reading comments here. I'm reading comments on Twitter. And when we went 1-0 down, they're Man United fans laughing that it's going wrong, and now they're angry that it's going right. I don't understand that mindset of football fans. On a side note today as well, I know a lot of United fans commenting here about Lindelof's performance. He was excellent. From a Chelsea point of view, though, still some good performances out there today. Christensen, I think he's a phenomenal defender. And obviously, you sometimes pay more attention to a player when they're against your team. Yeah. And I thought the way he played today was great. But it was a game where I think maybe coming of age. Maybe coming of age for Lukaku. Because he's got that goal now and that performance against the top side. And maybe he can kick on from there. I don't know, you've seen him play for your team. We've got a call coming through from a Man United fan now. We might touch on that in a little bit. By the way, whatever platform you're watching on, make sure you're smashing that like button for us, please. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Leon.
Hello, Leon. You're a Man United fan?
Yes, I am.
Great. And what do you want to say to us tonight?
I was just shocked that Chelsea started the first half really, high and strong. Because, I mean, who plays against Barcelona in the midweek and win at the weekend? It doesn't happen. So I was just shocked when I saw them. I thought the second half was going to be ours. And that's what happened. They didn't have a clue. The players were knackered. You had to substitute Hazard out because Hazard was really tired,
Maybe we didn't really speak about it. Maybe there is an element of fatigue. From a Man United fan's point of view, though, are you disappointed to see so many Man United fans on the back of Jose not appearing to be overly happy that the likes of Lukaku, etc., have delivered today? Do you find that a bit of a strange notion?
To be honest, I don't find that strange because I think they don't know football, and I can appreciate that. When certain people don't understand football properly and what Jose Mourinho is trying to do for United. I mean, he has a lot of players that are still potential. That's why I was happy he took out Martial, because I knew that, bringing in Lingard is more mature. He made, decisive, decisions. So I just can't be bothered with United fans that don't understand football. For me, I know what he's trying to do. And next season, when he gets proper defender and maybe a big midfielder, will be formidable. That's what I think.
Mate, really do appreciate your views. Thank you.
No worries. Nice one. Good work.
Thank you, mate. And just want to say one word. We're going to obviously go to some more of these comments coming through. Big shout out, obviously, to the young man out there today, 21 years of age, Mr. Scott McTominay, or McT, as I'm going to start calling it. Let's get that trending out there. Scott McT. That's going to be his name. Some people might find out. It sounds like something like a beverage you buy at McDonald's, maybe. McT. Can I have a McT and a McMuffin, please? Something like that. But I thought he was phenomenal today. Let's do a few more of these YouTube comments that are coming through. Anfield Extraordinaire says Liverpool will win at Old Trafford next week. To be honest, you cannot stop the train. Maybe. Other things that are coming in here. Lukaku's first touch is improving big time. Definitely. Morata was clearly onside by the naked eye. What do you think about that? We saw that replay. Was it onside in your opinion as a Chelsea fan?
Honestly, I'll have to see that again. I'm not quite too sure if when I saw it, I was a bit skeptical that it was called for being offside, but again, I have to see it again, just to be honest. We'll
try and get it up on Twitter while we're sitting here doing that. Obviously, the phone lines are open. We are going to have a little bit of a review now of the OneFootball app. And going to get that up now in front of you all. Obviously, great win from Man United today. So we've got that up. Wow. Voted as man of the match today was still Willian over Lukaku. Willian actually won the man of the match votes. Followed by Lukaku with nearly 7,000 just behind him. Let's go into some of the statistical breakdown. So obviously the ball still was heavily dominated by Chelsea throughout the course of the game, 55% in all. In the second half, though, what we saw turn around was the attempts. Obviously, Chelsea doubled their attempts. They got themselves up to 14 attempts on goal, 7 on target. But Man United went from 3 to 10 and got 5 of those on target. Exactly. But Man United had the better opportunities, I would say, in that game in terms of a lot of your... We were talking because the sun was in David De Gea's eyes. We were saying, why aren't they shooting more? But those they weren't amazing shots. They looked at they were troubling him because of the sun.
Half chances kind of in a way. But again, the OneFootball stats are showing. First half we had 60% possession. United had 40. Then it goes to 45% for United and 55% for us. And obviously by things being more central, it was easier for guys like Pogba to have more passing options with, and that was why they were able to get a bit more control with their their build-up play.
Absolutely. We've got another call coming through here that we're going to take in just a moment. Here we go. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name and who do you support?
So my name is Alex and I support Chelsea.
Okay, how are you?
Honestly, I mean, how can you be great with this? It's not exactly a good performance. I mean, in the sense that what I'm trying to say is it could have been better.
I understand. What I mean. Okay, and I understand that. So, but what were your specifically for you? What did your manager and your team get wrong today?
Jeez, I mean, it's tough because you always the manager always selects players that you think is going to win win the game. And sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. And, you're going to criticize the manager when it doesn't work, but you're going to praise him when it does. I mean, it's basically what's happening with Mourinho in this sense. But, with regards to Conte, I don't know if William should have been playing. I think he should have been a bit rested.
William was your best player today.
He was. I do agree. He was our best player, but I'm just not sure if he should have started because he did start against Barcelona. I think he also started against Hull, and I think he needed a bit of a break.
Okay, Alex, let me ask you this, man. Now, in the first half, who was the better team?
They were pretty even.
No. Who do you think had? Do you think United were a bit better, or Chelsea were a bit better in the first half?
I mean, honestly, I think going into the second half, Man U were going to be the better team.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd say United were better in the second half compared to the first half.
Well, I mean, going into the half time, they were better.
Okay, of course, that's your opinion. I felt that, you know, Chelsea were the better team in the first half. We were on the ball a bit more. We were forcing United back into more uncomfortable situations. And really, again, when Mourinho makes the first substitution, changes the course of the game in towards United's favour. We're on the ball a bit more. I'm only saying that because earlier you brought up the point that, you know, sometimes managers, they make decisions, they get it right, they get it wrong. Conte did start out right because our first half was testament to how well we performed throughout the entire context of the game.
Yeah.
But second half...
Do you know, there was an incident, Jose's involved in this, when Man United were playing Real Madrid 4 or 5 years ago in the Champions League, and Nani was inexplicably sent off, stupidly sent off, shouldn't have been sent off. In the next 5 minutes, 2 things happened. Sir Alex Ferguson went around and was trying to make the crowd cheer louder, where Jose Mourinho turned around, changed his tactics, made substitutions, and then started to dominate the game by bringing on Luka Modric. I believe it was Luka Modric that came on, and he went on to score. Today felt the same thing. Obviously, there wasn't a red card. However, today, what happened is Jose was like, right, the game's... Chelsea have been better, but the game's very even. We're still in this. He made a tactical switch first. That switch came. United then go and take the lead. Conte didn't react soon enough. Like, obviously, individual players are at fault today. But Conte made the wrong decisions over and over again.
I don't think it was just when they took the lead. I don't think it was at the 2-1. I thought that there was issues at the 1-1. I think the moment we scored, we decided to become a bit more defensive than usual. And we invited Young and Valencia to go up those flanks to basically press us and to cross in those balls and be more...
Well, did you invite them? But I mean, I sat as a Man United fan at the end of the first half saying our fullbacks need to press further forward. Because if you do that against Chelsea, their fullbacks don't go forward because there's no width. They are the only width in terms of attacking sense, and they're the only width when it comes to defending. And
yeah, but I would say it started... That specific process, though, started, I would say, within the 1-1 because, you know, they scored, so they're more comfortable.
Yep. So exactly. So we started doing that. Then it's Conte's decision then as a manager of how to change the formation, how to change his personnel. He didn't do anything. Jose was then dominating. He then made a substitution to add a man into the hole. Lingard's having a tremendous season so far. The second goal goes in, Chelsea's shoulders drop, and then I do think a little bit of fatigue creeps into that situation as well. And I understand that. Look, no disrespect to that Chelsea fan on the line there. I think he wasn't really answering any of the questions. He knows his team's done poorly today, but you've got to sometimes put it out there. Some stats put up on here from Squawk of Football about Lukaku's game today. 42 touches, 77% pass completion, 5 shots, 3 aerial duels won, 1 chance created, 1 goal, 1 assist. And that's against it then ends with stepping up against the big team. I want to hear from Man United fans about Lukaku today, how impressed you were with his performance, because that's what we've all got his back about. And I've sat here and defended him and defended him and defended him where he needs it and condemned him in other places and continue to say performances against the top sides needs to come. Now, I'm sure what it's going to move on to is, well, he needs to do it against the top teams away from home. There'll always be a new moving of the goalposts. However, he delivered today, and I want to hear from Man United fans on that. I really, really do. Let's have a look at some of these. Any comments coming through from your feed from Blue Line TV?
Feed up, just, yeah, I'm trying to... Oh, okay, it's here.
Yeah, we're going to get some comments here from Blue Line TV.
Comments. Everyday Monday, Conte actually took off Hazard to take a draw. Embarrassing. Everyday Monday... You know what, I'm kind of agreeing. I mean, this thing about fatigue, I'm not accepting that. First of all, the professional players, they've had nearly a week off as well since the game on, on Tuesday. Nah, that fatigue is definitely not an excuse. I just think that I've always felt maybe Conte, he always is very precious over Hazard because he's key to how he plays. I think this is why he always wants him to be as effective, so he takes him off early. I can't understand why he's doing that. Conte's the only manager that's ever subbed off Hazard as early, and I just don't understand.
Let's say this from a Chelsea point of view. You've taken off your best player, and I think today is a must-win game. There is how many games left in the Premier League? 10?
Yeah, something like that.
So 9 or 10 games left. Yeah. Chelsea are now out of the top 4. Chelsea are out of the top 4 from champions to potentially not qualifying for the Champions League, and you're taking a man off now. Again, in a game that you could have come back into. Man United at the back are not solid. You ain't playing against Vidic and Rio, Evra and Gary Neville. You're not playing against that level of quality anymore. And you take off one of the best players in the... It's scandalous. And this is the problem with him that we don't know about. It is scandalous management. And I want to know what... I want your Chelsea fans to phone in now and tell us what they're thinking. Don't sit on the fence. If you think that Conte was right, say so. If you think he was wrong, come on and say it. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name and who do you support?
My name is Anthony. What Chelsea?
Yes, mate. What do you want to say?
No, I'm just really angry. The first thing I want to talk about is Conte. I think he lost another big game.
Yes.
Because how can someone take off? How can you take off your best player? You won't see the manager taking off De Bruyne. You won't see them take off Messi. You see how bad Ronaldo in the season. He'll never get taken off ever. Now you see, and he takes up Hazard. It's a fucking joke. And the next thing I want to talk about is Moses. That guy is, I think, one of the worst players I've ever seen put on a Chelsea shirt.
One of our producers is celebrating because he hates... This is how much our producer hates Moses. When Willian tried to backheel... I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you now. When Willian messed up a backheel, he blamed Moses. That's how much he hates him. But yeah, he would agree with you. Moses is awful.
Let me talk about Moses. That guy had 5 to 6 chances to pass it to Hazard or Morata. There's one time in the first half, he does some nonsense step overs and tries to goes an outside. Every single time goes an outside, and every single time gets tackled. I've had enough. The guy is fucking shit. He's never wants and don't want to near the Chelsea team again. Conte has no idea what to do when he's down. The guy he does not know what to do. When we're losing, he just stands there like he's complete. I've never seen a manager so stubborn in my entire life. He sticks in that.
More stubborn? Would you say Conte is more stubborn than Jose Mourinho?
100%. Because Mourinho, if he knows something's wrong, he would change everything. Conte doesn't know what he will stick. Even if we're behind, sticks. He wants to stick 3 centre backs, 5 midfielders, and he wants to play defensive. This guy, now look, Hazard got taken off. Now we need a goal. Who's going to give us a goal? Nobody. Yeah. Absolutely nobody. Morata's... Oh my God, Morata. Bloody hell. I've never seen someone so tall, so strong, but fall down so much. The guy has got a body that can actually... He's got the actual body of a Premier League player. But guys, he's pussy-minded.
There we go.
A pussy.
Mate, really appreciate your call.
Right.
Thank you. I don't like hearing any rival fans feeling like that, but I understand what the guy's saying. I think, look, we don't have to maybe agree with his opinions on particular players because that's always an opinion piece, but the overall disappointment, the big thing, why take off Hazard? Leaving on Morata that's not performing. You know, you bring on Olivier Giroud, who needs runners like Hazard off of him.
Of course.
And then, I don't know, I just think the substitutions came too late. And in all fairness to Nini, right, he was saying this from pretty much the kickoff of the second half. Why are we showing all this respect? He was saying in the first half, it's great to see us not showing too much respect. And then there was a change. And that obviously helped Jose Mourinho massively. And when you consider the pressure that both of these managers have been under recently... Jose will be leaving tonight. He'll be smiling. He'll be sleeping better. I can't see Conte doing that now with all the big games on there. Is it Man City next for you all?
Yeah, Man City's coming
away or at home.
Away.
I mean, look, I'm not trying to. Chelsea fans out there, I'm asking Nini as well. You lose that game, and all the teams in front of you win. That puts you. That's
under pressure.
That's more than just a victory away from getting back into the top 3.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, just touching on the Hazard point quickly. I mean, to me, maybe the stupidity behind it is the fact that if you're United,
that means it weren't a goal, mate.
Oops.
What about the off? Yeah, but the goal was given offside. So our producer wants us to talk about how referees are messing up the game because of the goal that wasn't given. Look, it may have been marginal, but I don't remember any Chelsea fans crying. Man United getting away with decisions. Did you not see? Did you not? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Whoa. I'm going to go full time on you here. Never go full tire. Remember I say never go full tire. Man United had a goal disallowed in the FA Cup last week by the VAR system that should have been given onside, right? In terms of they didn't actually have the lines ready, but they guessed that it was right. So don't tell me Man United get all decisions that go their way. I'm talking to the producer here, no other person. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But at the speed it was played, it was marginal, and we know that more often than not, the benefit of the doubt is given to the defenders, and Chelsea will benefit from these types of decisions. Man United will benefit from these types of decisions. The fact of the matter is, that's deflecting away from a number of poor decisions from Conte in that game. That's where the attention should be on him and individual players that simply didn't deliver for Chelsea today.
I mean, honestly, I really don't think... I mean, I need to see this Morata thing again. Obviously, I haven't had the chance to see the replay, but I don't think anything... Referees had nothing to do with the game today. It was the fact that Conte's game management isn't there. I think all of us were expecting Cesc to come on. Now, if Conte makes that first substitution to bring on Cesc Fabregas, Mourinho's forced to react to that change.
Cool. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Evie Schmidt. How are you doing?
I'm very good, mate. And who do you support?
I support Chelsea.
Lots of Chelsea fans on this evening. What's on your mind, mate?
Yeah, first of all, just Nini, you're a legend, mate. I think you're what you say is you make a lot of sense, and all that Chelsea fans, you the best, mate.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks.
No problem. And I just think first half, I do believe Chelsea were the better team, and I think it's fair to say that. But I just feel Morata. I'm not going to have a massive pop at him, and I'm not going to call him shit and so on because there's times where he can turn it on and he's magical, but it's holding up the ball, and that's why we miss Costa so much. Yeah. Like, it was so evident today. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was so evident that.
Well, that's why Giroud's been
back to the goal.
That's why Giroud's been brought in.
And Hazard involved.
Yeah.
He wasn't there. What do you think?
Honestly, I see what you're saying. Of course, when you use Giroud's, the issue is that you don't have any pace in behind, and he doesn't really make any runs. He's very static and central. So, of course, he could have had that physical strength, but then I kind of thought maybe Hazard and Willian wouldn't have been able to be so free-flowing, especially in that first half. I think with Morata today, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it was his worst ever performance for us. Of course, it was kind of hard because he's the lone striker up front. Yeah. But he was able to get in the books at times and create a few things. This is why I was really looking forward to the introduction of Cesc, because I really felt that he could have been the finish article that we need in the final third. Better quality distribution in the final third, finding these runs earlier. That's what we missed, and that's just why Conte should have made that sub early. Mourinho would have been forced to react, and it would have been much more positive. We would have been able to keep our wing backs further up, and
If you saw in the first half,
leave it at that, guys.
Sorry. You saw in the first.
Sorry, no, they're just putting up the Man City Arsenal game for us. I was just talking to the producers. Go on, mate, fire away.
Oh yeah. If you saw in the first half, United's defensive line was actually quite high, and what you needed in the centre of the park was someone like a Fabregas just to chip that ball over, get it through, and then we had space to run in and behind.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, I understand why he picked Drinkwater and Conte, especially in that two-man midfield to keep it solid, obviously, in the centre of the park, and it was working defensively, but just offensively there was them opportunities where if you had Fabregas, you could have had in a one-on-one situation as well.
Absolutely.
I think Fabregas' inclusion would have made it a different story.
Exactly.
But
mate, thank you very much for your call. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Christian.
Hello, Christian. Who do you support?
Chelsea.
Another
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
First, I want to say Nini. I've been a huge fan of your content even before you joined Blue Lions TV full time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Well, I'm calling from Miami, USA. I'm super Chelsea supporter. I just want to say a few things. First, what you guys been saying about Conte not making the substitutions early enough, that's 100% correct. After the moment he should have brought on Pedro was the moment that Willian made that big run on the right-hand side. He should have brought in Pedro right after that. Danny Drinkwater should have been brought off earlier. Morata, how is this guy so big and a center forward and not adjusted to the Premier League just yet? Every single time he gets touched, he's falling over. He's complaining. What is that? Every single time.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, obviously, I 100% understand the frustrations. I share them too, but I think maybe the reality we have to look at is Morata's never been that type of target man striker. When he's been at Madrid and Juventus, he was always playing on the lines and making those runs in behind. So with Morata, this is why I feel we've got to be patient, because this is why I'm saying next year is when I'm really going to judge him, because he's had a year to adapt to Conte's system, adapt his game to the team. Obviously, games like this and other games, he's going to struggle a lot because it's not necessarily his most natural game.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. And another thing, why are we taking off Hazard? Why?
Mate, I literally think we could search that answer. We could get Stephen Hawkins in here to do some equations, and we ain't gonna find an answer. I mean, the only thing that would make any logical sense is if the medical team have said before the game started that, look, he's nearing the red zone of fatigue, so you're gonna have to take him off regardless. That would be the, or if he's told the manager he's got a little knock or a pull. Yeah. That would be the only reason. Sorry, go on.
But you're bringing him off in the 70th minute.
Exactly. No, exactly.
That's why another half an hour.
I'm clutching at straws. I'm clutching at straws.
Conte's had a history of doing this with Conte this season, hasn't he? It's not the first time we've seen him take him off early.
I understand if we have a Carabao Cup game in the midweek, we have an FA Cup game. I understand that. We don't play City until next, Sunday?
I know.
I don't understand. 1 whole week?
Yeah,
I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm a 34-year-old dad. I play 3 times a week. I'm not a professional. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's just, I have this suspicion that Conte obviously has Hazard's key to the system. He's always making these early subs so he can be fit for previous games, you know, to make sure nothing happens to him. Honestly, I think this really sums up Conte. He's just not brave. I mean, it's been a criticism he's had since he stays at Serie A. He's not brave. So many games this year where if he made more positive changes in games, we would have had a much more favourable outcome.
Yeah. Well, I just hope that that maybe this game is the catalyst that you know, if at the end of the season we drop down to 6. And we end up lifting the Champions League trophy, and Conte gets fired. You know, after next week, then it'll be all worth it. But,
that's a big if, isn't it? That's a big if, mate.
We'll keep that faith, bro.
Mate, huge if. Really appreciate you calling all the way from the States, mate.
I'm out of here.
Thank you. I want a great call there all the way from Miami. I want to touch on this Morata thing. We can see at our end, he is offside because. The law states you're offside if a goal scoring. Hang on, no, you can't be cutting me off here, Jay, because this thing ain't off. This thing is offside. His shoulder, his bum, and his body are over the line. You can score with those parts of the body that makes you offside. If we're gonna get really technical, that's offside. He can score with his shoulder, and if you look where the foot is on the white line, and look where his bum is and his shoulder.
Behind the line, though. I mean, and his head and his foot's behind the line.
It's further that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's looking like it. I mean, again,
my
let's
point
be
is,
serious. This is an impossible decision to really see.
If you look where exactly, we're freeze framing it. Exactly. If you look where Lindelof's foot is,
it's his foot that plays him onside.
But look where his foot is on the line, and then look where the shoulder and the bum is. That's over the line.
But you can't obviously.
No, but you can score with your shoulder and your body. And your bum.
No, I don't
that's
know.
how it works. It isn't your foot. He's offside. He's official. Like, if we're going to get technical, he's offside.
But let's be serious too. The referee's not calling it because he saw that. He's calling it because...
Yeah, and we know what happens in football. When one player's moving this way, when they're doing this, when they're moving across each other, remember, the lino has to look at the ball being played, then he looks at the play. It's impossible to get. A linesman can't get that freeze frame shot in his eyes because you can't look in 2 places at once. So let's not attack referees for that decision. It was extremely marginal. If we freeze frame it and go to the nth degree of the law, it is offside. But in normal play, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
It's the way it happens.
I mean, in my opinion, obviously my opinion differs a bit. I'm thinking that does look onside, but the thing is, it's impossible to see. I guess the only argument is you know, sometimes certain referees might allow that and give advantage to the attacking player. Certain referees don't. So I think...
Wait, that stream was fine.
When it's coming down to stuff like that, it's really hard to blame that purely on the referee.
Yeah, no, I agree. Got a comment here saying, Terry, please shout out Lukaku was absolutely epic in this game. Sit down, anti-United media. Look, we were talking earlier when Lukaku's goal. Man's got 22 goals this season. And I think maybe the world's changed now where if you're not scoring the same as Messi and Ronaldo or the same as Harry Kane, people just call you rubbish. Like 22 goals before the end of February is phenomenal. And 99% of all professional football clubs wish they had a player who's on that many goals right now. Or City looking like a good score here. 6 minutes into the game, it is 0-0 between Arsenal and City, and we are keeping an eye on that. And we're going to be doing FanPark Live for half-time of that game and full-time as well. So make sure you're staying tuned on all of these channels. United deserved the win. That's from Mark Lewis. Would you agree? Would you say Man United deserved the win today overall?
I mean, it's hard to really say. I felt that United definitely capitalised on moments, and let's be honest. You know, I'm constantly saying this on my channel. That's Blue Line TV for you guys that want to know what my channel is, and the type of goals we normally can see from set pieces and crosses from open play. And the reason why we keep conceding them type of goals is because when you use a back three, it's about zonal play. So if you do make runs through those holes, of course, naturally, you'll get the advantage of the right deliveries there. And I think they capitalise on moments. I can't really say on the, you know, at the end of things if they were necessarily the better team that deserved it overall.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. Thank you for calling and holding there for us. What's your name?
Hello, Terry. It's Benson.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fuming, man. I'm fuming, man. Chelsea just ruined my day, to be honest.
Why? Why they obviously losing is partly why, but what do you think went so wrong today for Conte and Chelsea? Excuse me.
What I like this, I called a few weeks before Chelsea vs Arsenal when the Mourinho and Conte little argument was happening.
Yeah.
And Conte said something like, "You're a little man. I'll see you at Old Trafford," something like that. Yeah. I don't know the.
Well, he saw him,
but he said something. I'm gonna see you when you come Old Trafford or something like that. Yeah. Why you talking? You're talking fighting words, but you put you was respecting Manchester United so much. The first half, you should have pressed United. We should have got 2 goals. Like Hazard. I love Hazard. He is our best player by far. But I just wish he should shoot more. I don't know. Maybe he's more of a creative player, but I just wish he would pull the trigger more, especially when he's running at Smalling.
No, I'm not a Chelsea fan. I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. What I would, the thing is, when you attack a man like Jose, outside of Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose is probably the man when it comes to the mind games. He understands what he's doing, and he knows how to wind people up. And Jose sometimes looks angry or grumpy, but I often feel he does that to get a reaction out of people, and he sits behind the scenes cackling to himself. I think Conte has legit got emotional over these comments, and has legit got angry about them, and he's allowed the man to get into his head, and that's what's gone wrong for him. And it's a shame from a Chelsea point of view. I'll ask you this question now. Do you see him having a future beyond the end of this season at your club, especially if he doesn't make top 4?
Oh, if he doesn't make top 4, no way. No way. I feel like if he doesn't make top 4 and our performance at the new camp, if it's an embarrassing performance, he will be out the club. He will be out the club. Unfortunately, I would like him to stay. I like the guy, but he like Nini said, he doesn't know what to do when a team comes back into the game.
Yeah. He
has no game management where he just wants to stick with, I get a goal, now defend.
Yeah.
Now defend. Like, there's so much you can do. Like, with the Lukaku goal, from there, I would have put Fabregas on the pitch right after them.
Yeah.
I would have put Fabregas, because Fabregas, we've got runners. Fabregas, all he needs to do is dink the ball over.
Yeah.
But why would you take Hazard off? Are you managing Belgium in the World Cup? No, you're not. What are you resting him for? This is a big game. This is one of the biggest games in our fixture list, and you want to just take him off? Why? I don't get. He does it. He's done it many times with Hazard. He has select few players when he used to be at Juve.
It's bottle. It's knowing what to do. And maybe look, he won the league, right? So I'm not going to call the man an average manager. He won the Premier League. But interestingly, I've always been very critical of say, Wenger. I've been critical of Jurgen Klopp at times for not having a plan B. And Conte, when he first came, the first handful of games at Chelsea were really poor. Got spanked by Arsenal. He changed his system and it clicked. Towards the end of last season, started to lose games, started to get found out a little bit. And every other system he's tried at Chelsea outside of his standard sort of 3-5-2, every system hasn't worked. And now, but people know how to. All you've got to do is press your fullbacks. into a game, and then it's like Chelsea just start flapping. They're like a fish out of water, not a duck out of water. They survive fine, like a fish out of water. And that's when I look at a manager and say, that's when you need to be better. That's when you need to be able to do what Jose's done today. Start 4-3-3, and then change it later on in the game when you see an opening and an opportunity. Conte hasn't demonstrated that he can do that, and that's a big flaw within his managerial arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well,
continue, man. Sorry. Yeah, continue, bro. Sorry.
Sorry. Nino, I'll just like to ask, who would you like if Conte goes at the end of the season? Who would you like to see come in?
I mean, if I could pick my dream manager, that would be Pochettino from Spurs. If I could pick my dream one, because I feel this is what we're lacking. You know, that if we were a team that just had a high pressing system, and we looked to keep the ball a bit. Most of these games
might be able to sign Harry Kane as well.
we'd be much closer to Man City. Now, here's the reason why we struggle a lot. Obviously, I'll be releasing a video later on when I can, but it's how Conte gets his team to train. It's called shadow play. It's all about an emphasis on positional play. A lot of times with this training method, it's about positional play without the ball. So, for example, let's say on the left-hand side of the pitch, you have to make sure the team's in unison. And when you see us defend off the ball, you see us moving as a unit to the left, to the right. And if you really think about it, most teams, they don't do anything through the middle against us, but they get some joys down the flanks. And I think that emphasis on always dropping deep all the time, I don't understand. We saw against Barcelona that if we do have to press high, we can do it. And that press usually starts from the wing back, pushes up against the opponent's wing back. I don't see why Conte doesn't emphasize that enough or continue it. And it comes at the detriment of the team. And this is why we get these stupid results.
Listen, really do appreciate you calling in as ever, mate, on the show. Thank you.
All right, sorry, man.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Quite a few people commenting here about how good Matic was today. Now, I know Nini was probably the most complimentary Chelsea fan that I came across in the summer when Man United signed him. And he has been phenomenal all year. A couple of poor performances of late. Arsenal penalty? Not given. Oh, for Arsenal, we're going to get a penalty there. Yeah, City don't concede nothing. Now we all know there's no such thing as referee bias. But yeah, I thought he was phenomenal. City on a counter-attack here. Sorry, I've got a commentator in it. Wonderful play. Oh, great football there by Arsenal to break that down. Arsenal started quite well in this game. Yeah, very impressed so far.
Looking to counter.
They have, and that's what they need to do.
It's going to be if they can get Aubameyang,
Aubameyang through. That man, you guys should have signed him in the summer, man.
But we can't though, because here's the thing: he doesn't hold up the ball.
No, yeah, true.
And this is the big criticism I keep making about, obviously, maybe how Conte builds with the team, because it's like it really limits what type of attacking players you can have in the team. You know, Aubameyang, it was available. We could have signed him, but because we don't play that way, that would play to his strengths, we can't even look at the guy.
I agree. Also, a lot of people were messaging me today and last night saying, "Oh, Liverpool are second now. It's the beginning of the end. Man United are unravelling." These are Man United fans, I will add. Where are you now? I'm calling it, where are you now? Long way to go yet. Lot for Man United to do. But today's performance is just a thumb in the eye for all the idiots, all the dullards, all the moronic, plastic fools that have been saying this. Again, not the ones that say they're bored of the style of play. I respect your opinion on the style of play. But the idiots that said the season's falling apart, we're not progressing, the players don't want to work for him, he doesn't know how to change formations. So much nonsense. You know, that's what I'm saying. So we're coming towards the end of the show now. We will be back again for half time. We will be back again at half time between the Man City and the Arsenal game. Now, there's two things I need you to do for me. First of all, download the One Football app. Go and do that for us. It's a massive help to the show. Help keeps us here. So please go and do that. And for you, the viewers, it's free. Costs you absolutely nothing. Secondly, you'll see another link to Discord. Now, Discord is a social chat room that we have. There's whether you're an Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan, Man United fan. I'm actually going to stick it up on my phone now. You can see what it looks like. Again, free of charge to have. Doesn't cost you a penny. And you go in here and you can see, if you see it, there's all the different chat rooms you can go into. So if I click on here right now and go into Arsenal match day, lots of people talking about the game, the system that's going on. I can just type in and say hello. Right, as an example, myself's on there, Robbie on there, Ty, DT, and I get Nini signed up as well. Everyone involved in the Arsenal football family is very much part of this. And it's a really secure way for you to chat and talk football. It's not as public as things like Facebook and Insta and Twitter and stuff like that. So please go and get that downloaded as well. It's called Discord. Get that done. Come back at half time though between... Yeah, the link is in the description below. And that's from the salty producer, who's still a very upset Chelsea fan today. I think I'm going to go give him a cuddle when we finish. But thank you all for tuning in. Nini, let everyone know where they can find your channel.
Yeah, you guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's at NiniFC. That's NIINIIFC. And my YouTube channel is Blue Lions TV, as in lions like a lion. So Blue Lions TV is my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys sub.
Big cat. Like a lion, like a big cat.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Everybody take care. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you in about half an hour again anyway. Yeah. God bless and see you in a bit. Bye-bye.